everybody, just want to give you a heads up for next week's episode, which is Metalcore with our buddy Alex, and the albums to check out are Within the Ruins Phenomena, and the song to check out from that is Calling Card. Next is Beyond the Embrace, Against the Elements, and the song to check out is Embers Astray. And then finally, we have Sonic Syndicate, Only Inhuman, and the song to check out is Denied. All right, see you guys next week and enjoy the show.
I gotcha. All right. What's up, everybody? This is Jason.
And Bill.
With another episode of Nothing's for No One. Sunday morning edition. It's like our own Sunday morning show.
Yeah.
Like Sunday mornings.
For us, like personally.
Yes, but you're getting the two of us now. Yeah. So we're going to go around and show you the rich culture that, I don't know if either of us know anything that's considered rich culture right off the top of our heads, but, we're here to curate your experience on the show. So welcome. As you guys can see, I'm cleaning out my dab pen. It's all nasty, but this is actually rubbing alcohol in this glass. So, yeah. Just cleaning out all the parts so I could get some wax in there later. And it'd be nice and fresh.
Be some sweet drugs.
Yeah, that thing's a bitch, man, to clean and take care of. But the high is pretty cool.
Well, yeah, because the stuff you put in there is kind of like a wax, right?
Oh, I think you just froze on me.
No, it's acting a little goofy,
no, there you are.
I think we're all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, the stuff you put in there, it's more like a wax, right? That goes inside that thing.
Yep.
Yeah, so that
you could put honestly, you could pretty put anything you want in there. I usually do they're called live resins, and I don't exactly know the definition or the difference between that and wax. I know it's just the consistency of the material and at one point, at a certain point, it just feels like the only difference is not the way it gets you high, but the way you manage it. The wax is so easy to just pick up and scoop into the thing and just put in there, as opposed to or the live resin, as opposed to wax, which can be rock solid, which you have to break off and into little pieces and then put it in there. So, it's just a really complex way of getting stoned. Honestly,
right.
If you're a human being and you just smoke the normal way, you're way cooler than I am. So.
Well, we talked about it the other night how somebody was dabbing, but the traditional way with heating all these things up and timing it right. That is such. I'm what the fuck, man? That's such a.
I know, it's fucking insane, man.
Way to smoke weed, and it's do you really need
to
do all that? Yours in comparison seems vastly easier. Yeah.
Here.
Uh-oh.
Django.
I just see a black shadow of
Get on in here.
There he
is.
Here.
Come here. Look at him. Look at the camera. Say hi to everybody. Little funky boy. We took him to the Jackson Dog Park yesterday downtown.
Yeah, how was that?
It's right at the museum. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was the shit.
You said you had to
last week.
You had to set up an appointment for it or something, or what was the deal?
Ooh, say that again. You kind of cut out there.
Did you you guys had to get an appointment?
You're glitching on me. You're stuck in the maze.
Right. On my end, you look like a bad music video from the 80s. It's just real jittery and fast.
Hold on, you're coming. Fast. I think you're coming back. Actually, I can't tell. No. It's completely frozen on your end. No. Now I can see you moving.
I wish I could tell.
Now I hear you. Hello?
I can see a little meter on the bottom.
Now I can hear you.
Talking or that shows internet
What's
connection,
up?
but I can't tell.
I'm sorry.
How strong. If that's me or you. But anyway, no, so yeah, you took Django to the park and did you have to get an appointment set up for that, or what was the deal?
No. It was literally like we just fucking walked up in there and there was a bunch of other people with their dogs.
Oh, okay.
Everybody
so it's
was
just an
wearing
open
masks.
park.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
a public park from Chicago.
I thought you had to do like a certain time or something like that.
No, I thought so too. Like I took a look online to see if there was any reservations or anything, but there's not. And look at this face. Who's not going to let this
the big old teddy bear
dog park? Yeah, this little big bear boy. So,
that's cool. Yeah, because we have a dog park in Forest Park, but they recently just set it up where you now have
to set up appointments.
No, like you have to like register through the town, and then they give you a key to unlock the gate to get in. Yeah, it's so weird. I'm like, really? Are there that many people that like bringing in road? I don't know. I don't get it. It's really weird. I've been in that park a few times with my friends and stuff with their dogs.
I mean, my guess is it's probably for like dog registration shit. So like, what if something bad happens? You know what I mean? Like, what if your dog ends up fighting another dog? Or like
that
whatever the fuck.
That did happen like a couple of years ago. Some giant dog absolutely decimated a smaller dog, and it was bad. I think I can't remember if the dog died, but I know it was bad. I remember it was bad, but that was even like the genesis for like this whole like, oh, you got to register this and that. Like, I'm pretty sure like I don't know, because I never had a dog when that dog park was there. I know there are some other rules that went along with it, as far as like, you know, like I think you had to be like a Forest Park resident, and then like your dog had to have, you know, all its papers in line and all that. But then again, people just walked right in there. Like, I don't know, it didn't seem like it was that regulated. And then sure enough, people got mad enough, so now you have to have a key to get in there. So kind of a bummer, but whatever.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it's like, it's interesting to me. Like, thankfully, like all the dogs that were there yesterday were pretty friendly. There was one dog though. Like Jingo has a toy. It's like a ball that we bring to him every time. And it's here he is. He's still here. It's like this, like it's you know, he plays fetch with it. He doesn't like a lot of toys, but he loves that toy. So I was playing fetch with him with it yesterday, and all of a sudden this like, it looked like a pit bull, but it was way smaller than Django. And this dog just runs up out of nowhere and just takes the ball and runs away with it. And it's like, you know, it's like made out of indestructible rubber, but like this dog is like ripping it apart. And I'm like, oh fuck, like I need to get that back.
Right.
And my dog just like, Jingo's like, I ain't going near that.
Right.
So like, I go over there and I like try to get the ball from this dog, but it just keeps like playing keep away with me. And I'm like, this is not funny. And I'm like, who the fuck owns this dog? Like, I'm like, where's there because most dogs were like hanging out, or their parents were like, the dog watchers were slowly following them, you know?
Yeah.
But this dog didn't do anything. And then eventually, after like 5 minutes of me running literally like 5 minutes of me running after this dog, trying to get the stupid fucking ball, this like lady who must have been on something, she was like this white trash older lady with really thin, stringy blonde hair. And she was wearing like, these like Converse high tops, but they were like glittery pink. They were really ugly.
I can picture this person like clear as day. Like,
yeah, it was like one of the ugliest pairs of shoes I've ever seen, and it didn't match anything else she was wearing. So it was like, this is weird. And then she was like, oh, do you want your ball back? I'm like, is this your dog? And like the dog's name was Oz, and it wasn't. She was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, is that something you want to keep? And I'm like, yeah. What the fuck do you mean? Is that something I want?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I do.
Like what?
Stupid dog.
Gonna walk away with the fucking toy.
And like, she basically had to like wrestle the dog, like, not wrestle the dog, but like run after the dog to get the ball. And I'm like, okay, like I'm taking it now. And the dog ended up almost getting into a fight with another dog, and then it just left.
Yeah.
So, thankfully, Ozzy, I'm sure was a nice dude. It just seemed like his own fucking moron piece of shit.
Right.
So my guess is that, you know, hopefully Ozzy turns out to be a really sweet dog, because under that person's guidance,
yeah, not everybody's a good pet owner.
You don't know what'll happen. Yeah, exactly.
Dude, one of the times I went to the dog park with Alex and her two dogs at the time, George and Honey, who are like the sweetest dogs ever. Like, especially George, he was this big, fluffy orange, like he looked like a bear. Like he had this big old melon, and he was super friendly. And we're at the dog park, and they're just, you know, doing their thing, walking around, having fun. And George really likes to like walk up to people and be like, hey man, you want to pet me? And like everybody would usually pet him. And this one lady that she was probably a couple years older than us, and she was just kind of standing there, and he walks up doing his thing, and he's just kind of like, all right, you gonna pet me? And she just fucking ignored him like he was dead to her, and we're like, all right, and he's just kind of looking at her like, come on, and then finally he's like, all right, well, fuck you, lifts his leg up and just starts peeing right on her. And I was like, oh shit. It's like Alex, I was like, I think George just peed on that lady, like you might want to give her a heads up. And sure enough, he walked over, and the lady was like, oh my gosh. She's like, your dog peed on me. She's like, I'm so sorry.
Whoa.
And I was like, well, you should have pet him, lady. You know? But it was
Damn.
a little pee. It wasn't.
Yeah, George really marking his territory on people.
Hell yeah. He was like, fuck you for not petting me. I was like, I don't blame him. I would have done the same thing. And then the other time.
How old was that dog?
George was old. He was up there. I think he was probably like
who's
10 or 11 at the time.
Yeah, definitely. So who
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I think I lost you. There you are. Now I can see it.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah, it keeps freezing out really hard for you, and then like I'll be able to hear you, but your screen goes still, and then your screen shuts off and it just says Bill Fay, and then you like come back like you are now.
Yeah, I don't know if
it's nice to see you.
I don't know if it's me or you. I can't tell like if it's what's
I don't know.
on.
My internet seems okay. I mean, it's saying I got full bars and shit. I don't know
me too, but
if that's how you measure internet. Who the fuck knows? Yeah, I hope it's not me. But then again, I am the one hijacking my parents' internet right now. So
tell them to stop watching Netflix.
It could be me. I don't know.
An hour.
I finished Heavy Rain the other day, dude.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's not a long game.
No, it's very. I don't know. I can't tell if I like it or not, man. Some of it was like really fucking tedious, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, like. You know, like what am I doing here? Or like there would be some parts where like because like I didn't realize, and maybe I should have before I like went into this game, but I didn't realize the PS4 version I have is a remaster of the PS3 game. So that game initially came out on PS3, which makes sense as to why it looks like super like janky compared to like Detroit or whatever
yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna look up what the developer's called right now, but who made that game because they made 3 games. They made a game with Elliot Page.
Yeah.
Called Beyond or something like that.
Yeah.
And I never played that.
I played it. And,
did you ever play that?
Yeah, I did play it. It's a beautiful looking game. Like it's great looking. And if you really, really like those games, I think it's perfect for people like that. But I don't know. It was just a little too drawn out and long for me that I lost interest like pretty far. I got pretty far into it. And I don't know. I just put it down and never picked it back up. But like I said before, like Heavy Rain, I loved my playthrough of that game a lot. But I don't think I would ever play it again, even though it is short, which I think is what makes that game so good, as opposed to like Beyond or I even played Detroit, and I was like, I don't know, man, this looks like very similar.
Yeah, I got Detroit the other day because it was on sale for like $10 or some shit like that. So I started that the other day, and we were playing some of it last night, but. Yeah, it was. I mean, I like those games because it's almost like a shitty, like a really weird version of like a Lifetime movie drama, but like much more video game esque and like
it's like a choose your own adventure, you know.
Exactly. It's like that, and I like those games a lot because like, I mean, it requires some thinking and stuff like that, but it's not like you're walking into like a Dark Souls game where you're gonna get your ass handed to you, and it's just like, you know, extreme challenge, like, hey, let's see if you can beat this shit. So I like those games with stories like that. They are fun to me. Like that was a fun game to me, like Heavy Rain, but at the same time it was just kind of like I was like, man, I don't know. It's just it looks so janky, and like maybe if it looked a little better and like I don't know, the twist at the end, I did kind of see it coming. Like I called it because me and Sam were playing it together.
Right.
And Sam just complaining because by the end of the game, Sam like couldn't stand it anymore. Like, I just can't wait for this to be over. And so we find out, you know, I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't played Heavy Rain, but there's like a twist at the end, and you know, we found out, and Sam was like, "No way! How is it that?" I'm like, "I knew it was going to be that."
If you've watched
just
enough
like, I don't
movies
know.
like that, it's pretty predictable for sure. Yeah.
Exactly. If you watch any M. Night Shyamalan movie or like Seven or anything like that, like you're fine. So I don't know. Very weird. But yeah, that was that. And yeah, I don't know. The thing is with those games is they have like the multiple endings and shit like that. So I could see like, maybe the idea of replaying it, but I wouldn't like, it's definitely not enough for me to want to replay it and then like be like, I have to relive this all again and see what my other options are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't so much to a game like that. Like that, a game like that I could see being fun to play like maybe once every couple of years or something like that if you're really into it. But I don't know if I will. But it was cheap. It was like $5 when I got it. So.
Oh, then yeah,
and the
that's
experience, let it go, and yeah, it's what you get, I guess. But yeah, it was pretty fun. So I'm playing that Detroit game now, which is I'm about like probably like an hour into it, and I like it so far. I want to say a lot, just because it like right off the bat it looks way better than the other game.
It's a beautiful looking game for sure.
Yeah, it looks amazing. So that's at least a little bit more enticing to be like, okay, you know what, maybe this will be sick and like a little bit easier to play, a little prettier to look at. But the world is the way the world goes. So I don't know. Yeah, man. So what do you got going on? How's your weekend been?
It's all right. I worked yesterday, but it was funny. One of the things I like about working on site or at a customer's house is sometimes they have pets, and sometimes those pets are cool. And
hell yeah, that's gonna be the best part of the job.
Oh, dude, it was the best. We walked in. It was a house we worked on before, but they were out of town, and they were back this time. And it was funny because when we were there, I was like, oh, they got a dog, but obviously they didn't leave him behind. And this time, yeah, we got to meet him. It was this little terrier named Oliver. And it was just so funny. He was like super like excited to see people. So he was like really like jumping around at first, and then we started to work, and he was just kind of hanging out, like watching. And that's like always the best. Like it just cracks me up, and like every once in a while, he'll walk over, and then he had this little toy, like stuffed otter that he had. And it was so funny, and like, because my dad is always like, we gotta work. And he kind of just ignored him, and like he brought the toy over to him. Was just like, "Come on, man! Like fucking play. Let's do this." But I was like, "God damn it!" He's like, "No, I'm not doing this right now." He's like, "Go over there.
Oh man!
I was like, "Just fucking grab the otter from him, man. Just grab it, man.
Yeah, fuck it, man. Just have some fun."
He just wanted to play tug of war for a little bit. And yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I wish Jingo's definitely not a tug of war dog. He doesn't like that one. He likes fetch, but
yeah,
tug of war he just gives up like right away. He's like, "Okay, here you go."
Yeah, dude, I love like, all right. Like tug of war with a dog is like the best. Man.
Me too.
My old
especially
dog
when they're like really
it.
strong and it's like bud and it fucks your arm up. It's like, whoa, I was not expecting that. Yeah, I like that a lot. But
but otherwise it was a run of the mill job that took fucking forever. Like it was like one of those things where like they tell us like, oh, we just got a few things for you. And I'm like, oh, cool. And then we get there and they're like, oh, well, you're here. So how about you do this, and that, and this, and this? And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, all right, this turned into a whole fucking day. Yeah. And then what did it? Oh, and then I came home and finally worked on something for myself. I just made a bunch of cables for my monitors here because I think I mentioned it last time. I bought like a new like sub, and so originally I just have these two. There's pictures floating around somewhere, but I have these two Yamahas that the cables going into them. One of them was like kind of janky and I'd have to like jiggle to get it to work. I'm like, oh great, yeah, and it works. I mean, obviously these things don't move a lot, so it doesn't matter. But then I had the sub, and I was able, I have to connect more cables to it, but I don't have anything like that. So I had these gigantic, 20-foot XLRs that I use for recordings and stuff connected. I was like, this is overkill. So at some point I need to either buy new cables or make them. And it's funny because like cables, the markup, you probably know because working in sounds, like the cable markup is like insane. Like it's so crazy, like the amount of money you'll pay for a cable that honestly most of the parts probably average around like $20 altogether for like a cable. Even the the best, even the worst, like you're paying around $20 on average. And
yeah, I know, man. It's
really what it comes down to
crazy.
is like your time. If your time's worthless, then yeah, you can make a cable for dirt cheap. So it's like, I was like, fuck it, I'll do it, And
yeah,
because I had to buy other parts for some other projects. So Gavin from
sure.
Lavisher, and I'm drawing a blank on his other band that he plays bass in. He's got a bass combo. They just needed some work, and I was like, yeah, I'll take a look at it and see what I can fix. But I had to scour the internet trying to find parts. And at the same time, I remember last practice, Nate's foot switch broke, and like the little toggle in there is all messed up. And I was like, yeah, I'll once again, I was like, I'll take a look at it. I'll see what I can do. So I had to like find that piece, and then what else? Oh, my buddy Ryan came in. I'm doing another amp combo conversion to a head. And so I was like, I got to buy, parts for that. And it was funny. Everything I needed, nobody had just all of it in one site. So I ended up going to like, I think 4 different websites to just buy like all this random crap. And so in between that, I was like, well, I should just buy all the parts I need for my cables, and went back and forth trying to figure out. I was like, all right, who's got the better deal? Who's got the free shipping? Who's got, trying to save some money here and there. And I ended up buying like just all the components I needed, and just enough to make the cable runs long enough that they're not just hanging all over the place. And so I did that when I got home, and I prepped them all beforehand, which is nice. I just kind of clipped a bunch of stuff, got it all to size, and so it just came down to soldering, which is always not my favorite thing to do, but I'll do it. And doing cables is easy enough. But yeah, it worked out. I had like one issue with one of the cables, and it was an easy troubleshoot, and then got it all working, and looks good and looks clean. Uh-oh. You're frozen with a really goofy look on your face, but I don't think you can hear me or see me.
Hold on, I'm losing you pretty hard, man. I can't hear like anything you're saying right now.
That's all right. Well,
Hello?
Hey.
Okay, I could kind of hear you now. Yeah, you're coming back. I saw your name again. You went away, and now you're back. I'm sorry. I will miss what you just said.
No, I was just talking about making the cables and stuff. I had one issue with one of them that it was easy to like just troubleshoot, just to kind of flip some stuff around, and no, it works out. Yeah, it's just funny because the connectors themselves like usually like $3, a piece, which isn't bad, and they're nice connectors. They're Neutrik connectors, like the same stuff you'd find on a Monster or Mogami and all that. And then I bought like Mogami cable, like the really nice ones, and that. That doesn't cost much. I think it's like less than $1 a foot, and I bought like 16 feet worth. But yeah, it's just funny. You can, and then obviously if you buy in bulk, you can get like really nice Mogami cable for next to nothing, and then you can build like those $100 platinum cables or what the fuck they call them for, a couple bucks really.
Yeah, dude, I'll have you build me a fucking cable for my trigger module.
Oh yeah,
dude.
I mean I could. It's not that hard. Yeah. I have like a thing of bulk cable that I have like still sitting around. I bought like I think it was over 100 feet worth of cable. I still have a ton.
That's all. Do you have it in your apartment or do you have it at your shop?
I think I actually have it here at the apartment because I usually just do all my soldering here. Because like here it's nice because I can like watch TV or like it's a little more comfortable. Like I don't it's not dusty.
Yeah.
And so it's just I like doing it here. I like doing it at home. I'll do. I mean, I bring my soldering gun back and forth, and I'll do some stuff at the shop too. I'm gonna have to actually this week when I work on Gavin's amp. I got to go back and It's an interesting thing. It's a little DI box, but it goes into the PCB of the amp itself, and so I'm gonna have to carefully get that out of the board somehow, and then put in a new one, which is not something I've ever done before, but fairly confident I should be able to do it.
Sure.
And if I destroy the board, it's only $100 board that I can replace.
Yeah, there you go. Fuck it.
I'll lose
Small
all of my profit, but it'll at least it'll have a working amp.
Yeah.
It was nice to get that project for myself done. So back to everybody else's projects now.
Hell yeah, man. Well, shit, dude. Yeah, fuck. Hold on. Oh, there you are. Okay. Sorry. This keeps cutting in and out of connections. Fuck, man. I hope it's not my internet. I don't think it is. Because I've done other shit like this on here and it's been totally fine.
Yeah, I mean, it went pretty smooth last week. It wasn't that bad. We had a couple dropouts, but yeah, today seems a little more jittery.
Yeah, I don't know. I fucking monopolized Comcast Xfinity internet that's here. You know, gotta love that. So, hell yeah. Oh man. So, do you have Xfinity? You pay for Xfinity?
No, they have AT&T, and I just.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I don't even think we have the option for AT&T here. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know what we have for this building.
I would think you could get it.
Yeah, we might actually over here. We might have the option for it, but I take the option to not pay for internet. So, you know, there's that. But
do you actually?
I want to get like.
Do you have an extender in your apartment, or do you just piggyback?
I don't even. We bought an extender. I ordered an extender when like we first moved in here, like a week before, because I thought we would need it, but we didn't end up needing it at all. So I just returned it.
Oh, really? The signal strength is like strong enough?
I was gonna get like the Google Nest booster thing, like the Nest Wi-Fi router, because that like extends the network, and then I would just have it connect upstairs and then boost it down here. But like, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's like. Because it would connect to my parents' modem upstairs, and then I'd get another piece down here to boost the signal. But like, you know, I was only gonna like really use that if Sam was like doing her like Sam has done some competitive gaming down here, not like a lot or anything, but she's played like Overwatch and stuff, and the internet has not given her a problem literally once. So like, I'm like, okay, if our signal's good enough for that shit, and you're not having an issue with it, like, and we're just good to go, like, you know, I'm not gonna spend $300 on a single booster that we don't.
Right. That thing costs $300.
It's kind of expensive. Let me take a look.
Because like I have one that cost me like $30. Like it's from Netgear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just boosts the signal.
The Google Nest Wi-Fi. Hold on, that's the. Oh yeah, the router. Never mind. The router is like $160. Maybe I was exaggerating a lot. But yeah, because like,
it just felt like $300.
You could get the. Oh yeah, never mind. If you get 3 of them, it's like $270. Like 3 pieces, so it's like one. You know, you have like attached to your regular modem, then the other 2 you have them wherever you want. I mean, that makes sense if you have a mansion and a really shitty Wi-Fi connection, but like in this small apartment, like we don't need all that.
I was gonna say I could just send you the link to the one I bought, and like it's one piece. It just plugs into like a wall wart, and you've set it up. You can set it up to your phone or computer. And it really just extends the signal of the original.
Oh, one. Is it like just a regular Wi-Fi booster?
Well, it's like an extension. So like if you want to bring the signal further,
those are
yeah,
that makes sense. I was talking about like the Google thing I was looking at is what's called like mesh Wi-Fi, which I know is a different thing than this because like I had Max sit down and explain the entire thing to me when I was like first talking about moving. I was like, what do I do for internet if I want to steal my parents' music? Well, you could get one of those, you know, like you have Wi-Fi boosters, like, but the more popular thing now is this mesh Wi-Fi, and you'll get a better signal doing it. So then I did all my research. I got the Google thing, but I didn't even take it out of the box. I just sent it back to Amazon because I realized the internet was flying now.
There you go.
So, you know, and as long as I'm able to work throughout the day, which I am, I have like no problems with, I'm good, you know, like fine. Those Wi-Fi, they're awesome, man. That's the shit. Like, I probably should have just got one of those because it probably would have worked just fine.
You should just drill a hole.
Yeah, those are cool.
Just drill a hole into your ceiling.
Does it work like well? Or I mean, yeah.
What's up?
I think I'm losing you again. Oh, never mind. I think I got you. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I got you. All right, you're there. You're saying drill a hole in the ceiling?
Yeah, drill a hole in the ceiling into your parents' apartment and then just run a Cat 5 cable down.
Yeah.
And your internet will be perfect.
And
then just patch it later. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, fuck it, man.
I can't remember. Do they have hardwood floors in their apartment?
Yeah, they do. I
All
think
right.
everything. I would assume every apartment in this building is
Yeah.
probably just hardwood floor.
Yeah, man, just drill a hole. I'll give you some plaster. You could do your ceiling, and then I can touch up the floor whenever you guys move.
Deal. We'll do it. Fuck it. Why not, man? You know? Might as well just fucking take advantage of it. But yeah, man. Here we are, Sunday fucking morning, dude. Easy like Sunday morning. So
living in the city has been crazy for you. You seen any crazy protests?
No. You know what? Like, I mean, obviously, so we practiced on Friday.
Yeah, when they started the protest, right?
Yeah, when they were doing those protests. But no, I haven't seen anything up here. Literally, like nothing this far north. And like yesterday, me and Sam. Oh, we went to the dog park. We didn't even see anything on the way to the dog. I mean, granted, we were on like Lakeshore Drive to get there, but like, no, I haven't seen much of anything. The only protests I saw were in Logan Square or around there, and like, yeah, but that's all I've seen. I mean, have you seen anything else?
No, I mean, I looked up just to see if it got out of hand in any way, and a couple people, I guess, got arrested just because they were kind of lingering around later at night on Friday. But yeah, I mean, that's probably why you didn't hear about it on the news, or even
because it wasn't insane,
or anything on Facebook, Like,
I mean, I knew somebody that did go protest. I actually haven't talked to them about it yet. Like that Friday night. But yeah, I pretty much did the same thing you did. Like Sam sent me a link. She was like, "Hey, there's a bunch of protesting here." Like, and it was like right in Logan Square.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, do you have to go by here?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I was like, normally on my way to practice, I go like right by there. And that's why I was like, all right, I'm not going to go. I'm going to try and avoid that area. So like, I mean, normally when I drive to the spot from here, I take like Western all the way to Logan Boulevard. And I take that to Sacramento. Huh? Ooh, I'm sorry. You kind of cut out there again. But anyway,
keep going.
I just like, I'll take the Western to Logan and then Sacramento right to the spot because it takes you right there. So.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense for you. Yeah, damn it, I lost you again.
Could be a future thing, but yeah, I don't know, and I don't know. I'm gonna see Jace later today, so I was gonna ask him, how things were because he lives right in Logan Square. So, but yeah, I'm sure that's got to be so fucking like. I mean, not that the protest wasn't like uncalled for or anything. Like I support the people that were out there. But I wonder what it is like living over there. I'm sure it's got to be hard sometimes, especially if you're, trying to get something done and there's like streets blocked off and shit like that.
Definitely pretty hectic. Like I told you, some friends of ours live like, I don't know, 4 blocks away from Lori Lightfoot's house. And obviously anytime something like this happens, that's why they all started at Logan Square because they were like going to march down to like her house or whatever. But they block the street off all the time whenever that happens. And yeah, it's just that's gotta be a little annoying, and I know it was a little scary, like in the beginning when like it was getting pretty bad with the riots and whatnot, and like you can download an app and hear like all the police chatter, and that's what my friends were doing, and they were just like, yeah, it was terrifying to hear like gunshot over here, maybe there was a gunshot over there, maybe it was a firework, and then people like not far from where they live, and it's kind of scary because they have kids and stuff. So, but. Nothing happened. Everything was fine, but I mean, it was a small radius for sure that a lot happened.
Yeah. Which makes sense,
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And Logan Square kind of is like right. Also, just is like a good middle ground, for the city. I feel like.
Yeah.
But
well, like Nate mentioned, like that where that the circle is. That's a great location for large people
so much
to gather. And then on top of it,
well, they do
Lightfoot's house.
They do fests out there and shit. Do you remember that? Were you there that one year? I forget what year it was.
I know like Bong Ripper played like in that spot once.
Yeah, I went to see some show with Eddie. There was like a festival, like Logan Square Summer Fest bullshit thing, and there was like, there was a stage set up to play music on, stuff like that. So like, and there was somebody, I forget, somebody was playing. I'd never heard of him. Eddie knew who it was. He was like you should come. And I had nothing to do. So I was just like, all right, I'll come. And
fuck it.
yeah, I saw some like acoustic dude with long hair and a beard. It was pretty good. I thought it was okay. More about the experience that I enjoyed than the actual. But you know, I don't expect to see Cerebral Effusion over at Logan Square Fest. So
not with that attitude.
That's true. That could happen. One
you
day,
never know.
So I'm gonna start protesting in front of fucking the mayor's house, being like, "Yo,
you should just bring a little sign with you.
Bring him over here."
Bullshit.
Yeah, nobody would go except me.
Yeah,
maybe like 3 other guys.
The other thing that like cracked me up, like obviously everything going on is pretty tragic for a lot of people and pretty intense, but like with these things, like you see, like I always see it like on on Facebook. There's a reaction to everything, and good, bad, whatever in between. And like the thing I always see when this happens is like the people that are the gun owners out there that are for whatever reason deathly afraid that they're gonna get them taken away and and all that stuff. And like I was like, it popped in my head because I've heard like people, I've heard those phrases like a million fucking times, but this was like the first time it popped in my head. This idea of like how they always say like come and get them and all that shit, like they're threatening the United States government, like okay, you're gonna take my gun, come get him. It's like, dude, you know how fast like your ass would get so wrecked by the U.S. government? Like it's so ridiculous. And I just like was laughing at myself. I was like, I would love to actually see that video.
Yeah, they would come and get them. You know what I mean? It's like they really would come and fucking get them.
If they really want to come and get them, they'll fucking get them, and you're not gonna stop them. Like,
and also, like, why the fuck would guns be taken out? It's like if guns haven't been taken away yet, why would this one incident like be the one to like? You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen. Like,
this
calm
is
the
even
fuck down.
This is even the worst incident we've ever had, and there's
so it's horrible.
It is horrible. Yeah. But it's the sad thing is that's not even the worst thing ever, and nothing's changed. And I mean, I remember growing up in like the early '90s and still hearing those phrases of like, "Oh, the Democrats are gonna take our guns," and come and take them, and all that shit. And it's like, it never happens. It's never gonna happen. Like there's too much money probably to be made from, from both sides for guns and all that, and all the stuff that goes into it. And it's just weird. I just like cracked up about it. I just thought it was funny. Like I would love to just see that play out of like, come and take them. And it's like, here's this like fucking dipshit redneck with like, I don't know, a bunch of assault rifles, but he can only shoot maybe 2 at the same time tops. And it's always
so funny to me, dude. Because it's like people say that shit, and it's like a guy from Villa Park.
Oh, that's even funnier. Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like this happened in Little Village. When are you going over there? And let alone like you live in Villa Park, dude. Nobody's coming after you.
Exactly. Like, nobody gives a
fuck about your guns. Like you go to the range once a week to shoot. It's like relax, everybody. Like,
and it's like, and it's the same people that like always bitch like, oh, Chicago's a shithole. That's why I don't go to Chicago. It's just a shithole. It's crime infested. And it's like, what? Dude? Okay. Like, all right, fine. Stay the fuck out of Chicago. Stay in your fucking suburb.
Yeah, and don't bring your stupid guns then, you shithead.
And don't come here. If you're so fucking afraid, don't come here. Don't worry about it. We don't need you. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, it's like that crowd just like cracks me up, and like
it's so stupid, man. I don't.
And the thing of it is, like when I say stuff like that, right away people are like, "Oh, you're just like a pussy that doesn't like guns, or you're not into guns." It's like, here's the thing, man. I think guns are cool. Like I do. Like I grew up in the '90s and like watched every shitty action film that you could, where like the guy had a gun the size of, like the size of a fucking Buick, like shooting off, and as a kid I was like, that's the coolest fucking thing ever. Like, at the end of the day, I'm a human, and like that stuff totally resonates. Like I think it's so cool. Like, and I get that idea of like, oh, it would be awesome to own something as crazy as that and shoot it off. Like totally cool. I totally get that. Like, who wouldn't? I mean, to go the opposite extreme of like, oh, you should never have it. It's like, no, man, I get that. Like that'd be like, it's like any hobby, like, sure, I can buy a $200 guitar, but like, let me buy a $2,000 guitar. It's like the greatest thing in the world. Like I totally get having that extreme,
Yeah.
But like, yeah. And that I think confuses people too when I say that. Like, I'm not like total, like wholly against guns. Cause like the thing is, I don't think they're ever going to go away like in my lifetime.
No, I don't
I
think
just
so.
don't feel
Not
that
here,
way.
at least.
And I think as somebody that's an extreme gun owner, I think you should probably feel that way. I don't understand why you're so afraid that
That's what I don't understand either. It's like, me and you don't even own guns, and we could both be like, oh yeah, guns are probably not going away, at least here anytime soon.
I mean,
it's like, that's always so interesting to me that the guys who like should know that, the people that should literally be able to sit down and like tell themselves, my guns aren't going to be taken away because of this cop incident. Like, why are they the ones that are thinking it? That's what I don't understand. It's like, I don't have the gun, and I'm even thinking like, oh, your gun is probably not going to go away.
Totally
like,
fine. You can keep that fucking gun. I don't think it's going
I don't know,
anywhere.
man. I mean, I think it's just like the levels of like how far up, people's heads are up their asses. Like,
for sure.
If it's really that far up there, maybe you do think that they're going to take your guns away because of some shit like that. But,
yeah, I mean,
I think people are more worried about cops than they are about like guns from this particular incident. Personally,
yeah.
But I mean, obviously, I could see how guns would be involved because it was a gun that killed this fucking kid,
right?
But,
yeah, it was
I mean, isn't it about who was pulling that trigger? Like, I think that's what this. I mean, clearly that this was more about that because I feel like, I mean, from what I saw from those protests, it was all about defunding the police again. So
yeah, which that's another interesting thing that a lot of the, more often than not, and maybe it's definitely not everybody across the board, but obviously the gun owners definitely fight on that side of like not defunding cops because they always say the argument that, well, then who are you going to call when you call 911 if you get rid of the cops? And it's like, dude, nobody's saying that, and it's so weird how people do that. And it's not just a Republican thing or a Democrat thing. It's everybody. They always go to that extreme, point of like,
because I don't think nobody knows. Like, I didn't know the difference between, for a while, between like defunding and completely abolishing the police. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, really?
If you defund the police and like they're literally to respond to like those huh?
No, keep going.
Oh, I'm like when like back last summer, when those huge protests and riots were happening, when everybody was like talking about defunding the police, like it was something that was talked about a lot already, which I'm sure it was. It's just, not in my circles. I looked up the definition of all of it. And, once you really think about defunding the police to be like, oh yeah, maybe the police aren't going to be the ones that are going to like shoot a dude that has Down syndrome on the train. And maybe we're just going to keep that to like, the police will be the ones that respond to when, a murderer's got a gun pointed at your loved one's head.
Right.
What they should be there for. So, because I mean, that's the same thing too. It's like, you could abolish the police, but who's going to be there when somebody's got a gun to your dad's head or some shit like that? You know what I mean? Like, who are you going to call? Like, do you think like some weird militia group in Portland is going to like fucking help you out? Like, probably not. But, and I don't have, I'm not a gun owner, but like, even if I was, I wouldn't have the balls to like retaliate in any way with a gun that I own.
Dude,
like,
that was my question that I kind of posed.
Like, are you really ready to kill a motherfucker? Like, is everybody so ready to do that? Like, it's just
that
weird.
Thought is in the back of my head of like, like with a weapon like that, with a gun, your potential to end a person's life is pretty easy to do, and obviously we've seen it a million times. Mistakes happen, wrong people get shot. You
all the time.
Maybe you want to just wing a person, but you end up fucking killing them, or maybe you don't understand the situation and you're jumping into something and you kill the wrong. Like there's so many things that could go wrong with that, and like that alone is bad. But like, what about the mental consequences of something like that? Like, how many people are really prepared for that? Like, look how many like veterans come back mentally scarred because they killed people. Like, your average person going to be able to handle that? Like,
yeah, dude, I
know. And then on top of that, in America, we don't have the funding to help people that have mental issues. So it's like double whammy. Like, what the fuck are you going to do? Yeah.
Yeah, we're fucked.
It's so crazy. And that's where like the whole defunding police comes from, is using more resources into helping people with issues like that, mental issues. Because I think with everything going on, it's more prevalent than ever that there's clearly a mental health issue in this country. Like, and it's not being even remotely looked at or fixed, and it's just a weird time, man. But
No,
yeah.
dude, I got to take a pee real quick. Can I pause this for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on. I'm going to pause the recording.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, now I'm actually back.
For real?
So, huh?
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I'm back. All right.
But yeah, no, going back to what we were talking about, and like you mentioned, like, you know, the people from the burbs that like are very fearful of their guns and whatnot. And when I posted a thing on Facebook talking about what we're talking about, and this one girl I went to high school with, didn't really know her all that well. Like we just happened to go to high school together. Had, I think, a few classes together, and for the most part, she's cool, whatever. And I posted that thing, and she did that famous quote that you've probably heard a bunch, and I've heard a bunch, which was it an armed society is a polite society? Which is like,
what?
Yeah. I mean, I've heard that phrase like a bunch of times before, and at first I was just gonna shoot back like, oh, that's a pretty sick bumper sticker you got there. I was like, I was gonna say something like, yo, my high school student is an honor roll kid or whatever, but I was like, nah, maybe I shouldn't. I looked it up because I was like, I don't really know, you know, where that phrase comes from. I wasn't sure. I did a Google search, and the irony of it was the first thing that popped up was that phrase doesn't mean exactly what you think it means. I was like, uh-oh. I was like, here we go. And I read the article, and it's this guy, Heinlein, I believe was his last name, a book called Beyond the Horizon. Mm-hmm. And the context of it, which is kind of funny because it reminds you of people that like quote the Bible out of context and they're like, this is what it means. It's like, well, did you read the whole thing? But anyway,
wait, say that again. You kind of froze up there when you were saying the meaning.
Well, like taking it out of context, like she did, and like so many people do. It's similar to people that take stuff from the Bible to kind of like strengthen whatever beliefs they have, you know, and it was very similar. And I was like reading the article about it, and it's essentially like the opposite. It's the idea being really, and like I'm bastardizing this because it's a pretty lengthy article that she probably didn't read. Of course. And but
yeah, it sounds like she definitely didn't read it.
No, because she shot back when I shared the article to her, and she shot back, which I thought was weird, was like, hey, I live in the South. And I was like,
you live in the what?
She's like, I live in the South. And I didn't know how to respond to that. Like, I'm like, well, all right, but didn't you grow? I know for a fact that you at least lived in Illinois for 4 years, and you probably grew up in Illinois. So I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know. I've been all over the world. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I can.
Yeah. Okay.
Are we doing like local colloquialisms? If so, go Bears. I don't know. I don't know what to fucking tell you. Like, what the hell does that mean? You know? And
yeah, dude.
But no, this
man.
article like goes on to explain that, like, the idea being like when you have people together and they have these altercations, people tend to go extreme in response to stuff. And
of course,
the best example was like, you know, kids on a schoolyard, you know, like a bully makes fun of a kid. So then that kid's reaction is to punch him, right? That's the next extreme to that, you know, when realistically they should just talk it out, you know, but how often does that happen?
Yes.
And then, you know, and as you get older, then the next thing you know, it's the bar patron that spills a drink on somebody. And then instead of talking it out, they slug it out, you know? And then the idea being, well, if you have a gun and you are this like emotionally like pissed off person, you're gonna use the gun, you know? And then you're now going to end a life. And so realistically, it's not a great idea because it's kind of like, to use another cliche of a phrase, was it the eye for an eye thing, and if you do that, everybody goes blind. Kind of like that, you know? And I think it's just funny that she used that phrase because, realistically, we shouldn't have an armed society because if we do, everybody's going to get fucking shot, you know? Like,
yeah.
And it's funny because the first thing that popped in my head, though, when she said that, and I was reading the article, and I was like, oh, that, you know, like, yes, that idea of an armed society as a polite society sounds like a great idea because, you know, the implication is if I think you have a gun, then I'm going to automatically be nice to you and I'm going to respect you and there won't be any problems. But that's a load of bullshit. I mean, just look at like The Hood, where a bunch of people have guns and shit and they get shot left and right because they're disrespecting each other. Total opposite of what you want, and from that, like that throws everything about that out the fucking window. And it's just like, dude, that makes no sense. And but I was like, I'm not gonna argue this with you. Like, I don't know you well enough. And
there's no point.
There's no point.
Like with certain people, Django, come on.
Django's got a gun.
Animals walk right there. Yeah, come on. Come in here. Come on, we're talking about guns, dude. What do you think? Tell Bill what you think about guns.
Django, what are your thoughts on guns? Go.
Django, I don't like them. I'm a dog and I don't like them.
He's like, I like knives.
All right. Yeah, he likes knives. No, he likes bones. He doesn't even like bones.
Really?
He likes like his lamb chop toy a lot. We have a toy lamb chop. Remember the show Lamb Chop?
Yeah.
That little lamb puppet looking thing. We have a toy lamb chop that he really gets down with. Yeah, but no guns.
No guns. Not yet. He's got to go through training.
Yeah, not yet. Yeah, it'll happen soon. So, but just not yet.
Gotta give him his FOID card. You're living in the city, Jason. It's a crime-ridden city everywhere. Every block there's crime. You should be terrified. I don't know how you live in the city. I am
terrified, man. I'm fucking terrified. It's a shithole here, man. Everybody dies all the time.
Every block there's a shooting.
I'm not even alive right now.
This is from the grave, actually.
Yeah. They better not come for my guns, man.
They're going to come and take them.
Yeah, I'm not alive packing my pen right now, you know?
The other thing that cracked me up when I was talking about that, I was like, what did I say? I was like, and this came from like, I'll explain where it comes from, but I was like, your back-to-back watchings of American Sniper are not going to help you when the government comes and takes your gun. You fucking slack-jawed.
Is that movie with Bradley Cooper?
Yeah. And the reason why I bring this up,
I never saw it.
I kind of saw it by accident because when I was flying to St. Thomas recently, the guy in front of me...
Oh, they played it on the...
Well, no, we each had individual TVs, and this guy that like...
Oh, that's cool.
Now, apologies to anybody out there if they kind of fit into this, but he looked like a total working class Midwesterner. You could tell he'd been working outside, like a bit of a tan from working outside. Had that vibe of like construction worker, like the fingernails clearly dirty, like just he looked that part. So like
you got a working man here,
very much, and you could tell it's like, oh, this guy is probably like the gun owner, the Trump supporter, like everything you could see just looking at him surface level, you can kind of tell, and of course. Puts on American Sniper and is just intently watching the shit out of this thing. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I guarantee this is probably like the 20th time this dude has watched this fucking movie. And it's just like, probably so mad that he can't fucking jerk it on the plane right now because there's people around him. Like, I was like, like that's the type of guy I'm like, yeah, that's the guy that's going, they're going to take my guns, but they're not going to do it because I'm going to stop them. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah, okay.
No, you're not. You're not going to stop them.
No, you're just going to sit and watch this fucking American Sniper and Bradley Cooper kill it on this fucking 5-hour flight to the Virgin Islands. How long is a flight to the Virgin Islands?
It was about
like
5
hours.
Yeah, just shy of 5.
Yeah, that was a good guess. I would assume it would be like 5 hours.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think how long it is.
It's like,
Florida.
it's far, but it's not insane.
No, it's not terribly far.
Yeah.
But it just cracked me up, and that's where that joke popped in my head of like, oh yeah, man, like I guarantee like the kind of people that say that shit are just like, I like American Sniper, I like it's just like all those like, I'm trying to think.
Doesn't like Michael Moore.
Right, Michael Moore's a fucking pansy.
Yeah, or he's a fucking fat piece of shit.
I don't watch those movies, so I can't think of any other movies like that. The only reason I can think of American Sniper is because I literally saw it not that long ago, but
yeah,
I guarantee, that's the kind of movies they watch, and they just wish they could be as cool as Bradley Cooper in a fictional film. When in actuality, if you were to put them in a war zone, they'd probably shit their pants like most human beings.
I don't think most people are prepared. Going to a gun range does not prepare you to fucking kill a human being.
Or have a human being trying to kill you at the same time. Like that is 100% terrifying. I don't care who you are, like fuck that.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Well, people are gonna do what the fuck they're gonna do, I guess.
But like any keyboard cowboy, it's very easy to live in your suburb house and bitch about that stuff,
Very true.
Not that what we're doing is any better, for sure,
Yeah.
I'm sure we have some fans and friends that are in the category of gun owners that we're kind of poking fun of and probably not.
Yeah, I wonder. Well, I mean, I don't wonder that. Yeah, like
them,
Sam's family, they own guns and stuff like that. And I actually shot a gun for the first time last summer.
That's awesome. Dude, I still haven't shot a gun yet, and I really want to. Like, it looks, like I said, it looks so much fucking fun. Like, it looks so cool, but it's so fucking expensive. Like
I think I shot a shotgun too. I shot a rifle and a shotgun.
That's awesome.
So yeah, and it was fun. We were out in the woods. Nobody was there. I trust Dave, Jace's buddy, with my life. So I was kind of like, yeah, I trust the guy. He's not a killer. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever met. He thinks guns are cool, and that's fine. Like, I understand people thinking the functionality of it and that type of shit is cool. I don't have anything against it. Like, yeah, I really don't. I'm not like a big anti-gun guy. Like, it's never been my MO. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I wonder if there's a perfect utopia where people can exist with guns and nobody gets killed. I don't think it exists out there, though. Like, I don't know if we're ever going to live in a world where that's not going to happen.
I think what it comes down to is it's the abundance of guns is really what it is. It's just there's so many here, like.
Yeah, we really only need like 5.
Yeah, that's it. 5 for every 10 states. Somewhere. That's it. Like,
yeah,
you call that one guy.
Yeah, 1 for every 10.
It was funny. I had some friends that aren't from America, from other countries, that chimed in and talking about.
Yeah, it's just wild, man. And how easily accessible they all are, and how anybody.
Oh, got you on another.
Ooh, what was that? You kind of cut out there. I'm sorry.
No, I had some friends from like other countries.
You said you had some friends that did what?
Friends from other countries that like chimed in talking about kind of like their viewpoint of like how we are, and they all kind of said the same thing, how they're kind of baffled by our obsession with guns and whatnot, and I saw Damien comment on your post and it was interesting, and he comes from a country where like guns aren't like they have them, but it's not like they're like, this is the coolest thing ever, man. We all gotta have guns. Like, it ain't like that over there. So but I was explaining to him, I think a lot of it is like in our entertainment, a lot of like American portrayals shows us with like guns, and so like even I said it, like I saw that stuff and I was like, that's fucking cool. I want to play with guns. Like, I played with guns as a kid. I had toy guns. I made
I did
guns.
too. I had toy guns.
My imagination went with guns and stuff like that. And one thing that I told him that like it stuck with me, man. This happened in high school. So now this is 40 years ago. So when I graduated, and I had a teacher, like 2 teachers that they swapped. They did like the what do you call that when like the students
the parent trap?
No. Usually when students, like foreign exchange students or whatever, kind of they did that with our teachers. So like my math teacher, Mr. Scharf, went out to Australia, and then this other guy, Mr. Packer, came to America, and so they literally just swapped. Mr. Packer. He was awesome. He was so fucking funny, and I like that somebody asked him about Kylie Minogue, and they were like, "Yeah, she's so hot." He goes, "I don't know, man. She looks like a chipmunk." I was like, "All right, fair enough."
Minogue?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. She was a babe at the time, but he was like, nah, she looks like a chipmunk.
That's so funny, man, that back then.
Yeah.
You guys were talking about Kylie Minogue.
But so Mr. Scharf came back, and obviously we had all these questions, and we're asking him like, oh, what was it like? Like, what were the kids and stuff like? And one thing that he brought up that just kind of stuck with me all these years was a lot of the kids believed that as Americans, we all just have guns. Like, we just walk around carrying guns. Like, that was a belief. And he was just like, why? And he was like, and right away they were just like, well, all your like shows and movies, like everybody just has guns. Like, we just assumed that like a majority of you guys just walked around with guns. I was like, that's horrifying. Like, and that was back in
we do got 2000s. A lot of guns. They ain't wrong.
They're not totally wrong, which is funny. But yeah, I was like, fuck, dude, that's scary.
That's funny they think that though. Like, that they think that. Well, yeah, it sucks that they think that. Yeah. Kind of like, oh, really? So you think of our country? Like,
anything else? Like,
yeah, for real, dude. Like, it's so funny to hear shit. Not funny, but it's like kind of fucked up to hear shit like that when it's like
pretty interesting.
I don't know. I mean, I don't even like. I think like I don't know. You just reach a. I mean, at least me, I've reached an age where I feel like most stuff about our country is just like embarrassing. So like I don't care as much. Not care, but like
You're
I don't
desensitized
know. I don't take.
from it.
I don't.
You know.
Oh yeah,
that's really
you
what
got.
it
I mean,
is. It's just
being an adult now, like you gotta be
right. And I mean, in your own world, you have other problems that you definitely need to be worrying about that really don't involve something like that on that scale. Like, and like we were saying earlier about like the idea of like getting rid of guns, it's just not going to happen. It's just because of we're so beaten into it. Like, yeah, man, we just have guns. Like that's just it. They're here.
Yeah.
And sure, there's other countries. They always people point at like, oh, well, they got rid of their guns. It's like, dude, that country is a quarter of the size of ours. And I think culturally they don't, hold guns up to this high esteem. So we have so much working against us. Like that idea is just, yeah, sure, it'd be awesome if nobody had guns, but it's just, I don't know. I've been beaten by society so much to just be like, yeah, that's it, man. I just got to deal with it. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But who knows what the future holds?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
But it's just, I don't know. That was such a crazy fucking week that all this shit happened. Just cops killing people killing people, and these mass shootings all of a sudden. And it just, I don't know. It was like a back to back to back to back week of just horrendousness. Yeah.
Bad.
And it's just
people dying for stupid reasons.
And it's just, I don't know. I find it a little, what's the word? Like, not gross, but just kind of like, for lack of a better term, just shitty that people's first reaction is, well, they're going to take my guns. I'm like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah,
Can't you just have some remorse for this person? And just
come on.
Even though you don't know them, maybe just have some sort of mourn period for them before you got to jump down everybody's throats about how they're going to take your fucking toys away. Like,
yeah,
come on.
That nobody's concerned about right now.
Nobody's going to take. Like, shut the fuck up. Nobody's going to take them.
I hate that shit, man.
Yeah.
Very, very, very annoying. But what are you going to do? People don't get it. And I mean, it's like, of course it's people in the burbs that are saying shit like that because it's not happening there, like, or if it is, it's so low to their fucking perception of it. Like, what are they going to see,
Right. It's, yeah. And it's one of those things of it, it's a, what is it? Like the narrow view of like, yeah, you're hearing all these horrible things, but you don't actually experience the good parts that are a city like Chicago. Like, I've spent so much of my life in Chicago, and you have too. Like, I've never had issues, like, I think the worst so far is I had my tires stolen, like.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't
remember that, but I remember hearing about it.
I've had friends experience like getting like mugged or stuff stolen, and that's never deterred them from going back to the city. It's never made them go, well, now I need to have a gun, and then you have these people that visit the city, once every few fucking Cubs games and bitch about, I got to drive into the hood and I'm terrified. And even though they're not afraid, but they are afraid, however that works, that weird Schrodinger's cat of fear that goes along with like gun owners and stuff where, it's like, you're the ones that are afraid. And it's like, but aren't you didn't you get the gun out of fear? Isn't that what that really boils down to? If you just get it to its like lowest common denominator, it's just, you're afraid. And
I mean, that's what it's got to be for everybody, I would assume, just people being like, oh yeah, I'm afraid.
And like having a gun, yeah, man, you're going to feel like king shit if you have a gun for sure. Like, why wouldn't you, know? Nothing more powerful than that, other than if you own missiles somehow, but like, as far as we go, if you have a gun, you're top of the food chain right now, and if you need that to sleep better at night, then I guess that's for you.
Yeah, like, some people do, and I don't blame them. It's like that's, I guess, what does it for you.
Yeah, it's a level of comfort that's I said based out of fear. Well, like, what else would it be? Like, like, I'm sure like there's a couple where it's just like, I have guns because they're cool. Like, that's if I owned a gun, that's why I would own one. I'd be like, yeah, because it's fucking cool. Like, be the only reason why I would. I'm not I don't know, the idea of like, yeah, I need to defend my crap that nobody wants. Like, I'm good. Like, I'd rather just shoot a gun to shoot a gun. But I have enough expensive hobbies that I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I've had friends with guns, and I've seen like, you know, the maintenance that goes into it, the cost of everything. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm good. I don't want.
No, it's a lot, man. It's not cheap shit.
Much, yeah.
Shit is expensive.
So I get that fear of getting it taken away after you put probably so much money invested in it. That would upset me too. That'd be, if somebody was like, we're taking away your drums, you know, you're no longer allowed to play drums.
I'm like, what?
I'm like, what the fuck? I just put thousands of dollars into it. And they're like, I'm sorry, but you just can't drums anymore. We're taking them.
Yeah, that would be very annoying. I don't know. It's never going to happen. Nah. I don't think here.
What if like,
you know, it's never going to happen.
What if there was like a reimbursement for it? Like, what if like that was a thing? Where they're like, you know, like, we'll take your guns, but we'll give you.
I still don't think people would go for it. Right? I don't think anybody would go for it. You know, like, unless it turned into some weird Civil War thing where it was like everybody in America got like another stimulus or something. If people decide to give up their guns, and then it was like all these gunless people being like, yo, give up your guns so we could get money. And then it's starting this whole, but that would never happen. That's like a psycho situation, because I'm not, you know, I don't run the government. I should. But I should actually get wrapping up here, man, because I got to get ready to bounce
I think we covered
some
good amount.
Yeah, good amount of gun knowledge, you know, gun theories.
Two guys who don't own guns.
Yeah, we're giving you the knowledge. Come back to Nothing's for No One for gun knowledge part 2.
And I technically live in the suburbs, so like,
yeah. You live
although it's so for maybe people know or don't know, I live in Forest Park, and we've had like a string of like pretty violent moments. Somebody died, got shot and killed at the Jimmy John's by Madison and Circle. I believe there was another shooting and
recently.
Yeah, this was like maybe less than a month ago it happened. And a few other things like carjackings and other stuff did happen in Forest Park.
Wow.
Which is a little scary, but once again, it's not made me want to go buy a gun. Like,
yeah.
But it is what it is, and I mean, at the end of the day, with people with their guns, I just hope they're responsible. That's all. You know, that's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
And I feel like most people are. You know, like a lot of our friends that have guns that I know of, I'm like, yeah, they're responsible people that I trust. Well, there's one that comes to mind that I don't totally trust with a gun, and you know who that is. And but otherwise, everybody else, I'm like, yeah, man, go ahead, own a gun. Like I believe in you. Yeah. I think you're responsible enough to own one and not do anything stupid. But anyway,
definitely.
So that was our gun talk. Nothing's for no one.
Gun episode, yeah, dude.
Apologies to anybody that it may or may not have upset, but
yeah,
this is our show, man. It's our thoughts and stuff, and so get to talk about it.
Yeah, definitely.
But cool. So next week we're gonna have Alex on.
Alex on for metalcore. Yep,
should be fun, and yeah, cool, man. Yeah. I don't know what you're doing, but have fun, whatever you're doing. I hope.
Yeah, well, doing stuff with Alex in the Warforged, dude. So we're gonna get
cool.
Shit done today.
Nice.
So
work on the whiteboard.
Yeah,
stuff.
just working on stuff. So yeah, hope everybody is
put more tabs on the whiteboard. I was trying to learn the last one.
Maybe. I don't know, man. I don't know what we're working on. I can't tell anybody.
No, keep tabbing stuff on the whiteboard so I can learn it.
What'd you say? Oh.
No, the whiteboard in the room, you had like tabs on there. I was like looking at it, I was like trying to figure out how it went, but I obviously out of context, I don't know what that was supposed to be.
Yeah. Trying, man.
But cool. All right, man. I will we'll see you soon, right? I'll see you for practice and then next week.
Yeah, interpreting that. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'll be there Wednesday, so
cool. Sounds good.
All righty, dudes. Well, thank you all. Yeah, thank you all for listening. We'll come at you next week with some metalcore hits.
Bye.
All righty. See you guys.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for checking out this week's episode. We really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, or drop a comment. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.